Hello guys and welcome back to another Evil Dead video. So I made a video about probably a week ago doing a tier list of the survivors, and although that list probably wasn't as good, I decided to do a demon tier list with the basics, the elites, and the bosses, and just rank them in their own categories. And yeah, I just thought it would be a fun video to do. And as always, if you guys have your own opinions, put them in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think about these demons, because I know there's a lot of demon mains out there that play different demons, so you guys are going to have different opinions. But yeah, we have rankings from God tier, good, average, weak, and F tier. So we're going to start from the basics, and then we're going to head down to the elites and then the bosses. So the first basic we're going to rate is Necromancer's basic. So we have the skeleton. Now, I don't use Necromancer that much, and I personally love his basics. I feel like when you summon a whole army of them, they can be really effective. But we're ranking them individually, and I feel like as far as their attacks, they have good attacks. You know, they have the ground pound attack, they have the lunge attack, spear, whatever. With the flutist, they're even more damage. So I wouldn't say they're God tier, but I'm definitely going to put them at good, because I feel like even the AIs are probably the best AIs, with attacking and stuff. So we're going to put them in the good category. Next up, we have Warlord's basics. Now, Warlord's basics, definitely either good or God tier, especially with the puke. If you have the right build for basics, their puke is amazing. They have a 4-hit combo, which is amazing. I personally just love her basics, and I feel like the basics are like the strongest part of Warlord's army, even though I don't think it should be like that, but I got to put them in God tier, honestly. They obviously get stunned if you get jumped and stuff, but if you play them right, you know how to do your 4-hit combos, you know how to dodge, you know how to puke, and all that stuff. Oh my god, they are so good. So I'm putting them God tier. I definitely think they go there. And then we have Puppeteer's basics. Now, when I first played this game, when the game first came out, I used to actually enjoy Puppeteer overall. But the more I play him, the more frustrating he is, and the more how weak I can see he is. His abilities are, he has a self-explosion, which does a pretty good amount of damage, especially in close quarters areas, like if you're in a house or something. If you're outside, middle, most of the time they dodge your explosion. He has another ability where you could take off his head and throw him at you, which does a lot of damage, but then again, you have to aim it right, and I don't really see people using that ability, myself included. They also do that stupid taunting every few hits, and you have to do like a certain hit combo to avoid it, which I think is stupid as well. So I'm going to put them in the weak category, because they could get headshotted too, one bullet. It's just crazy. They're just not up the levels with the other basics, I feel like. So Puppeteer's basics are definitely weak, in my opinion. Now we have Necromancer's elite. Now his elite, when I play Necromancer, I never use his elite. I feel like he is just very slow for my playstyle. But I know a lot of Necromancer mains are probably going to disagree with me on this one. But because he's very slow, he's very, very slow, easy to dodge. Any experienced dodger can dodge him. But if you do land any of his hits, he does a lot of damage, especially if you have an elite build and you have the flutist out. God, he is strong. But based off personal experience playing him, I'm going to put him as average, because the speed of him really messes him up. So I think he's probably the slowest elite out of all three, and my least favorite elite to use. So we're going to put him in the average. Now we have Warlord's elite. Now, Warlord elite, I've seen people use elite builds for Warlord, and the elites actually become a lot better. Especially with that last balance update when they buff the elites for every demon. I feel like with an elite build, he actually can be good. But I personally don't like using him. But the blood splatter is good because it gets their fear up. It blocks their screen. It's so tough because they get stunned so easily too. So that's a downside of it. So I don't know if they belong in good or average. Let me know in the comments what you guys think they belong in. I'm going to have to put them in average category. I'm sorry, but mainly it probably could be biased because I do a basic build. So I don't really focus elites as much. But when the game first came out, I used elites a lot more, but I got to put him as average, mainly because he gets stunned super quick. I feel like he dies really fast, and yeah, so he's going to put average. His attacks, his abilities are kind of okay. He has a ground slam with like some heavy attacks, but most of the time they get dodged anyway, so we're going to put him in average. Next, we have Puppeteer's elites. Now, Puppeteer's elites I actually really enjoy using. These are only elites that I actually put some points into in the build, and I really enjoy using them because of his... I feel like he kind of has a range ability with the Thunderstrike. It's kind of like a range ability where if everyone's fighting around in the circle of the dagger or something, and you do your lightning strike, you can get a few hits off on that, which is really cool. If you upgrade your traps to level 3 and you have more elites spawn in and you have them cloned, you can have literally elites running all around the circle, and they can do Thunderstrikes repeatedly, which comes in real effective. And also, he takes less damage from gunshots. So I feel like he belongs in the good category. Definitely one of the best elites, I feel like. As far as his melee, like his regular heavy attack and light attack, they're pretty mediocre to average. They're not the best. But other than that, I feel like the Thunderstrike ability and his ability to clone and make a lot of them can come in handy. So we're going to put him in the good section. Now we focus on the bosses, and the first one is Evil Ash. So, like I said, you Necromancer mains, you guys take your mains seriously, because I know if I ever say anything you disagree with about Necromancer, you guys make sure I know it in the comments. But I honestly do not feel like he's the best boss. Like, yeah, I know you guys are going to say, oh, you just have to know how to use him. As far as like his build, I feel like the build is good. He has good stats to put in his build, but I don't think he is a really good boss. I feel like he's easy to dodge, very easy to dodge, easy to just one tap in the head. He's average to me. I'm sorry. He's definitely average. But I've seen some good Necromancer bosses out there, but majority of what I've seen, he's just average to me, especially when I go against him. He's not that hard to go against. So we're going to put him in the average category. But obviously, I know some of you guys are going to disagree, so let me know where you think he belongs. As far as just the boss himself, not with the flutist, not with his army, just the boss individually, do you think he is good, god tier, or average? And then we have the amazing Henrietta, god tier. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so Henrietta, her abilities are, I actually really enjoy her abilities. So if you're going against a team of warriors, her gas leak ability, when she farts, it comes in handy for you getting jumped by everybody. Gives you time to do some swings and damage. The only downside is if she does the grab ability, you leave yourself vulnerable to hunters who can just shoot the hell out of you in your head. So when you use Henrietta, do not use her grab ability unless someone is going for a revive, then you can break it. Especially Henry, if he activates his ability, just grab him up and then cancel that. But now my opinion on this is probably a little biased because I main Warlord mostly and I love using Henrietta, so I'm tempted to say good. But then when I look at her abilities overall, she is very, very basic as far as her abilities wise. She has the ground slam, which really doesn't really do anything as much. She has the gas leak ability, which I actually really enjoy. But I feel like the power for Warlord comes from her basics and everything else. So we're going to put her in the average with Evil Ash. I hate to do this to my baby girl, but as far as individually as a boss, I don't think she's really up to par with everyone else. And then last but not least, we have Eligos, Puppeteer boss. And I'm immediately going to say he's in the weak category. If you are playing Puppeteer and you go against a team of hunters, it is automatically GG's for you. You lost. Accept your defeat. Puppeteer probably has the best movement as boss. He can go invisible while he moves. His melee attacks are very fast. But the problem with that is I feel like his animations are a little bit long, so it gives hunters time to shoot you in your head, and he has a big ass head. So it gives them time to shoot you and kill you fairly quickly. He has the least health out of all three bosses, and I feel like they did that on purpose because of how he can move around invisible, so that would give him some type of advantage, but it really doesn't. Puppeteer overall is not good when it comes to destroying the book like Henrietta or Evil Ash is. Overall, I feel like he dies way too quick, but he does have my favorite abilities out of all the bosses. The telekinetic surge when he can basically thunderstrike everyone around you. I love that ability. The grabbing ability is just like you're sitting duck for hunters to shoot you in the head. So I don't really use that as much. The casting stones where he goes back and throws rocks, that could come in handy for distance attacks. So he is pretty alright, but I have to put him in the weak category until they give him some type of buff. And I know a lot of you guys are probably going to agree because I hear a lot of you guys always say Puppeteer is definitely a weaker boss. But let me know in the comments, do you agree with this list? Do you not? What do you think I messed up on this list? Do you think someone belongs in a different category? Let me know your opinions. And as always, subscribe for more Evil Dead content, and I'll make sure to see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.